Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my channel. Today you're in for a treat. We're going to take a look at the different kinds of mowers, what they do, some typical operations that you do, and some of the weird things that some of these mowers do. And give you some ideas. This is a more of an in-depth tutorial, so it's going to take a little longer to get there. So if you're not patient, maybe you should move along. But if you want to learn more about the different kinds of mowers in the game, the things that you can do that kind of help you be more productive, faster, and also what the different types of mowers do, because they have different things that they do for your grass and hay making. So they give you some nice options in the game. And one thing that I do want to say is that usually I don't use mods in game, but going forward, that's going to change a little bit because, or well, in tutorials, I mean, not in game, but in tutorials, because Giants has really kind of delayed release of a lot of equipment. So they're Giants things that I'm showing in these videos for the most part, and they will be available in the game in the mod hub. These are not things that I've pulled off weird websites and stuff like that, but because of the way that Giants is doing things now, where they don't release things right away, I need to be able to use some of these mods that have improved the game or given us some new options out there to pick from. So you will see that now in my tutorials going forward. Don't love to do it, but it's just the way Giants is releasing stuff. So here we go. Let's get started. This is our first mower kit. Now you can always start with just a front mower if you need to get mowing done, but don't have a lot of money. The front mower works with almost any tractor. They don't require a lot of horsepower. And when you want to upgrade to something a little bit bigger, you can always add this Samish side mower. So then you can cut front and side. And I will show you these in operation real quick so you can see what I'm doing with this. But this makes it a bit of a wide cut. Once again, though, if you start with just the base mower, you're fine. There's nothing wrong with starting with just one small mower. But when you're ready to upgrade, it doesn't cost a whole lot, and it still doesn't require a lot of horsepower to operate these little mowers. Little mowers. They're huge compared to regular lawn mowers, but anyway, we turn the front mower on. And then we turn the, wait, no, I don't want to hire somebody. What are you doing? Stop. And then we're going to turn the rear mower on. And you see here now, I get a nice wide cut. These mowers don't do anything in particular aside from just straight up cut the grass. So you get a little bit of a windrow from the front mower. And when I say windrow, you can see how the side mower is pushing our grass all over the place, and the front mower is making it in a nice straight line. Those lines are much easier to collect and bale. So if you want to, I'm going to show you something here. We're going to go back and make a pattern here. So this allows you to make, and this is kind of cool because it allows you to make both hay and straw. This is one of the things that I wanted to share with you in this tutorial, because some of these mowers have modes that allow you to do specifically what we're doing right now. So let's go ahead and cut this. And this is a method that you can use to get both hay and silage evenly off the same field. So you might be saying, what is he saying? Well, we're going to see here in just a second. I'm going to grab a tractor and we're going to come behind here and I'm going to show you what we're going to do. So we need, let's say we need both hay and silage off a field, right? Stop. It's not stopping. I don't know what's going on here. Okay. All right, there we go. So we've made what's kind of a neat thing here with our mower. We've made this like flat area where we've mowed with the side mower and then these windrows. So what are we going to do with those? Well, I'll show you. This is kind of cool. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is I've rented a wrapper, a baler that wraps, okay? And here's where this comes in. So we got grass on the field. And we're going to grab, we're just going to go and get our windrows here. So I'm going to follow this windrow. We're going to leave that center material, and you'll see what I'm going to do with it. We're going to wrap this up. So when the baler detects grass, it automatically makes a silage bale. When it detects hay, it will not wrap it, and it makes just a hay bale. So what we're doing is we're going to collect the outside and just get some silage. I should have made the bales smaller. I forgot about that. We're probably going to get like a bale and a half off. Oh, and I forgot you got to stop with this one. This one's weird. I'm used to the fast bale where it keeps going. So yeah, when it beeps, you got to stop. There you go. Once the bale is wrapping, then you can keep going forward. And I think I have it on auto unload, but I don't remember. Apparently not. Let's turn auto unload on. Turn on automatic drop. Z. There we go. Oops, wrong button. All right. So it's dropped it. And I'm going to go continue to collect our windrow, but we're leaving that center material. And we should get at least one more bale. There's our second one. And once that's out, we can start collecting again once it stops beeping. I think we're ready to collect some more. Okay, there we go. I missed a little bit, but that's okay. All right, so you can see here we've left the middle grass. Well, why would we do that? And why would we want to do that? Well, I think if you're farm smart, you're already knowing where I'm heading with this. If you're new to this, you're like, what is he doing? Once again, when you make TMR for cows, you need both hay and silage. So this is a good opportunity for us. And perfect, right? The perfect amount right there. We're going to stop baling, and we're going to let that thing wrap. And I'm going to go grab another tool. So we'll be right back. So now we're going to take this center section that was not windrowed, and I've got what's called a tedder here. And if you guys watched my hay and straw tutorial, you will know that we're going to make some hay. So we put this down on the ground, and we take the parts that were not windrowed, and we spread them around, let them dry out, and then we're going to come back once I'm done doing this with a windrower, and we're going to get some nice hay bales too. So we got 3 square bales, and I would assume we'll probably get 2 or 3 hay bales. Not square bales, silage bales. My goodness. This is what happens to you when you move into an RV and your whole life gets torn apart for a couple weeks. So you can figure out how to put it all back together again. And that's what I'm working on now. And that's why we're here doing tutorials. All right, so I'm going to finish this. I'll be back. Now, this windrow is about 9 meters wide, so that should be enough to cover our little stripey thingy here. And we're going to go ahead and windrow all this, and then we'll bale it up. You can see there, it's just wide enough to hit what we made, and that's perfect. So if you use the Krone tedder, you might want to use this Krone windrower too. Price is about the same with the other ones that are this size. I think the tractor that I picked is a little small for this. But what this does is this then takes this and makes it into a single row that we can collect with our baler. So you can see now the reason why I mowed like that, and it automatically does it that way, but it's just nice to be able to do this. And now some of the as we get into some of the more advanced mowers, they actually have an option to mow exactly like this so that you can get about a half and half collection. So you get about half silage and half I should have gone with a bigger tractor, by the way. That was pulling the whole time I was trying to mow. So you might want to go, this is the M7, you probably would want to go with an M8 size tractor, 200 horsepower-ish. Let me grab our baler, and we'll continue on here. And now we're going to see how this works. So we're going to have, my prediction is that we will have 2 or 3 hay bales and 2 or 3, we have 3 silage bales, but we'll probably get a little less hay, but maybe not, we'll see. Definitely 2 bales, but maybe 3. Bonk. That one should just fall right off. Once again, you don't wrap hay, so you want it to dry. In fact, if you did wrap it, I think because it, well, no, it has no moisture, so it should be, but you want it to stay dry. You don't want it to get wet. Hold on a second. Bummer. We only got 1 bale. I got almost the second bale. But once again, you wouldn't be mowing just one strip. You'd do several strips. You get more silage bales than you do hay bales, for sure, though, when you're using that method. Now, keep in mind that the hay bales hold more material, though. So this hay bale that I just made is 4,500 liters, and these are only 3,500 liters. So keep that in mind. Okay, let's look at the next mower type. Next up on the chopping block is what we call a disc bine. This is a pull-behind mower. I don't believe the Vermeer leaves. This is for, you'd make it, I mean, hay would be the primary thing that you mow with it. I don't think it mows in rows. Now, the nice thing is you can see it goes to the side, but you can also control, like if you wanted to go directly behind the mower, which that's usually how I mow. But if you want to do it to the side and you want to only run down the spots that you haven't mowed, you can do that. That way you don't run over the fresh grass. But you can move it back and forth. In this case, we're just going to run straight down the middle because I have these bales on the side. Usually you'd finish mowing before you started baling. But you can see here, this one does not windrow. So it only does the spread out grass. So if you're going to use this to make silage, you'll have to windrow first. And then, and then bale it. If you're going to make hay, well, then you just ted it, and then because you're going to have to windrow it anyway if you're going to make hay. So, but you can see here that's how this mower works, and it does a good job. That's the Vermeer, and there's also a John Deere mod that's similar. Let's move on. So that's really it. There's not a whole lot to that one aside from that's how it works. So, all right, let's move on to the next type. Next up, we have the complex mower. Now, some of these you can get with no no windrowing. This one has a windrow feature on it, which is nice. It does require a little bit more horsepower, so you're looking at about a 200 horsepower tractor minimum. And we're going to turn the front one on. Oh, I didn't unfold it. Durr. So we turn it on. And the back one, I'm going to select the work mode. And I'm going to show you the different things that this does. The current work mode is not going through my joystick for some reason. Go back. There we go. Okay, we're going to do work mode is right bumper, and then you're going to press the left joystick. Currently, we're at wide spreading, which is what you'd want if you wanted everything to be made into hay. So you're going to ted it. In this case, we're going to do swath dropping, which basically means we have a built-in windrower. I'm going to turn these back mowers on. I'm going to lower the front, and I'm going to lower the back. And we're going to go ahead and start mowing, and you'll see what happens here. This tractor definitely does not have enough horsepower for this setup. So this is a 200 horsepower tractor. I'm going to say you probably need 250. So be aware that these you need to look at the horsepower requirements before you try to do this. But you can see here it's making a nice swath in the middle. So if you want to bale silage, this is the mode that you're going to use. And as we get rolling here, you can see we're moving along pretty good. Now, let's say you want to just bale hay. Well, then you turn the rear mowers off. And we're going to do into wide spreading mode. And I turn the rear mower back on, and we head off. And look what happens now. So you're just going to ted that and make it hay. Last but not least, you're going to have the left-right spreading, which turn the mower off again, and we're going to look at the swath. And I'm going to do left swath. So what this does is a hybrid mode, and it basically, the first thing that we did, remember where we had the windrow, and then on the inside we had the hay, so we would make silage and hay. Same thing. So you can see what it's doing? It does the exact same thing as we did with the side mower and the front mower, just it mows more at a time because it's wider. So this gives us the same effect as that side mower with the front mower. And you'll see what we do when we turn. You can make it go either left or right. And so we're going to do the same thing we did with the other mower. And see that? So we end up with the same pattern. We're going to pick our hay bales out. We're going to make, you'd pick the outside one, the windrow up first and get your silage bales. And then you're going to go to the other side and make your hay bales. You will get, doing this method with this type of mower, you will get more silage than you will hay for sure, because you're cutting 2 mowers worth of silage and 1 mower worth of hay. But it gives you a way of getting that product off the field. The smaller setup that I showed you with just the side mower and the front mower, that'll give you a more even amount of each off the field. But this does the same thing. So there you go. I just wanted you guys to see that. It makes the same pattern, and so we can get both materials. Now, this is a unique mower here. This is the ELO. I'm not sure why you'd want us. This is it requires a big tractor, a heavyweight, because it runs on the front of the tractor. You can see it looks like I'm running backwards, but you need a reversible tractor. And as far as I can tell, they only gave us 1 reversible tractor, and that's the 2, or I guess 2, the mid-size Voltra and the large Voltra. Now, you could technically run if you wanted to make hay quickly, you could run a tedder on the back of this tractor at the same time as you mow, and you could ted at the same time. In fact, we may set up one run like that so you guys can see that. Let's unfold this. But you do need a big weight, and it really is. You could run this with a regular tractor, but it's going to be really front heavy. So it's recommended that you run this on the back. No, wrong one. Wait. No. Oh, there we go. Okay. This one makes 2 windrows. So instead of spreading it around, this would also be good for making silage. You could either ted if you wanted to, or you could come back and just run the baler up and down and get silage if you're not going to make hay. So this is kind of a better mower. If you're going to make a lot of silage, this is the one that you'd want to use. But you can, like I said, hay can always be made just by tedding these windrows, so not a big deal. And then you go back and windrow. But I'm hoping that makes sense to you. But see, that's a nice cut right there. Hold on one second, folks. So once again, your mower decision pretty much is, do you want windrows or do you want, spread? And if you're making a lot of hay, you want spread. If you're making more silage, you want windrows. But either one can be windrowed and either one can be spread. So it doesn't really matter in the long run. But in real life, if I was a farmer and I was going to make both hay and straw and I didn't have a lot of money, really my option would be to purchase this setup, because you get both. You get the windrow and you get the spread out. So you can get both hay and silage off a single field, and it seems to be the most efficient package and the most affordable. But if I want to get a lot done fast, I'm going to look into some of the bigger machines. Now, let's move on to the really big machines. We have the MacDon, which is more, honestly, it has a mower head, and it does a good job mowing. But I was kind of surprised. Oop, nope, that's the wrong. I'm like, that doesn't look like the MacDon. Stop it! Oh, this game. I'm here next to the MacDon. Don't put me in the John Deere. I thought that this would be like an amazing fast mower, because this thing does the harvest really quick. And this machine really is designed to cut down wheat, barley, canola, soybean, and then the harvester goes behind it with that special header and collects. And we'll do a tutorial video on how to use the MacDon. But the MacDon can also do this, which is to mow grass. My problem with the MacDon is it's okay speed-wise. Now, you'll see this does windrow. So once again, it's going to be, if you're doing silage, this is nice because you can just bale right after you mow. I was kind of disappointed in the top speed, but I guess it's going pretty quick. About 12 miles an hour. Some of those big mowers, though, if you have a good tractor, you can get like up to 15, I think. So it's a little slower than your typical tractor. And I apologize, I need to change mine over to miles per hour. The kilometers, I'm going to say 40. I'm going to say you can go like 30 in a tractor. I don't know. But this is a heavy. You can make, and it mows pretty wide. It's not as wide as the Elo, but it's close. And so if you own a MacDon for your harvests, you could just buy this nice mower attachment and get a pretty big mower out of it. Aside from, it being, saving you money and having to use your tractors for mowers, you can use this as a mower. I don't see another benefit of mowing with this. There's lots of mowers available. I wouldn't just buy the MacDon for mowing purposes. I would definitely buy it for mowing and other, like for my harvests to get that bonus. If you don't know, using the MacDon gives you a 25% bonus on your harvest. You have to use the right header. Don't use this header. You use the wheat header, and it'll put the product on the ground, and then you have that special header for your harvester that you go behind with. It takes more steps, but you get a 25% bonus in yield, which is nice. Now, the other mower we have is the purpose-built Giant Crone. This is an M450, big mower. This thing basically does the same as our Samish setup. So you can see the Samish has the windrow mode and the swather mode and the what do you call it, spreading mode or whatever. So we can do the same thing with this that we do with that setup. So if I hold down this button, I can go to wide spreading, which opens both of these up. There's right spreading, there's left spreading, there's both spreading, and I'll mow once, so you can, actually we'll do a right spreading here. There you go. So once again, if you're making hay and silage, this will be what you want to do. You get a windrow in the center, or you get a windrow, and then in the center you get the stuff that you're going to turn into hay. So you'd mow, you'd bale the silage, and then you come back, spread the hay, and then bale it, and windrow it and bale it like we did at the beginning of the video. Same process. But you can see here, this is moving. Now, I guess it's the same speed as the MacDon. So I was complaining about it being 24. This is really going almost the exact same speed. It cuts a lot more, though, because it's wider. This is a big, expensive machine. Is it worth it? I mean, it's up to you. But there you go. There's our familiar pattern of having the stuff we're going to make into hay in the center and the stuff we're going to make into silage on the outsides. Once again, you can go full windrow so it doesn't have any material left out. Just have that nice big windrow in the middle if you're just making silage. Or you can make it all spread if you want it all to just be hay. So those are your modes. And that is the big mower. So that was fun. We got to see all of the major pieces of equipment in action. I even showed you how to use this pattern to, obviously make silage. And then use Ted, windrow, and then make hay. And then you make silage out of this. So you got that nice pattern. And we got to see what each of the mowers does. Hopefully that is enough to help you guys. If you have any questions, please be sure to leave them in the description. If you found this video useful, please buy me a coffee. The link for that is in the description. It's also right below. It's the first comment, and it'll be pinned. But if you could toss us some love. Obviously, you guys know we've been through some financial hardships lately, and we are making it thanks to your donations. But you keep the channel running. So hopefully this video was helpful to you. Have a great night. Be sure to subscribe. Thumbs up always help. And if you subscribe, don't forget, we have that weird thing where you have to hit the bell now. So when you hit subscribe, pick the bell from the subscription drop down. Otherwise, you will not know when my videos come out. So anyway, I'll see you guys next time on the farm. Welcome to King Arthur's channel again, and I love having you guys. Talk to you next time. Bye.